Hello everyone, wherever you are. Welcome to our today's news from JMN. Ethiopian Pivotal Week, National Dialogue and Diplomatic Momentum. Ethiopia witnessed a week of significant political, diplomatic, and developmental development as the country opened a potential historic chapter in its effort to address long-standing political difference through dialogue and consensus. The launch of the long-awaited National Dialogue Conference dominated the national agenda, bringing together thousands of representatives from across Ethiopian society in an effort to confront the country's most complex political and social challenge through peaceful consultation. At the same time, developments in northern part of the country, particularly in Tigray region, underscore the continuing challenge to Ethiopian peace process. While major infrastructure projects expanding aviation links, growing economic activities around the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance Dam, and an activity diplomatic agenda highlighted the country's broader effort to advance peace, reform, and economic transformation. The week's developments reflected a country navigating a complex transition, seeking a consolidated peace and political dialogues at home while expanding its economic and diplomatic engagement abroad. Historical National Dialogue opens. The defining event of the week was official opening of Ethiopian National Dialogues Conference on July 15 in Finfinne. The three-week conference has brought together more than 4,000 representatives from regional state political parties, civil society organizations, religious institutions, professional associations, traditional leadership, youth and women's groups, as well as members of the Ethiopian diaspora. Organized by Ethiopian National Dialogues Commission, the conference represents the country's most expensive nationwide consultation process since the establishment of the current federal system. Presiding over the conference, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed called on Ethiopians to replace political confrontation with dialogue and compromise. He said disagreement should no longer escalate from strong words to strong action through violence, but should instead be addressed through peaceful consultation, mutual understanding, and collective responsibility. The Prime Minister described the process as a historical opportunity to lay the foundation for lasting peace, national reconciliation, and a shared national future. Established under Proclamation number 1265/2021, the ENDC said the dialogue is intended to identify Ethiopia's major national challenge, build abroad-based consensus, and formulate recommendations capable of strengthening political stability and national unity. Delegates are deliberating on a broad range of issues, including state building and national identity, the structure and form of government, the administration of federal cities such as Finfinne and Redawa, religious affairs, institutional reform, the rule of law, and human rights. The agenda also covers social, economic challenge affecting farmers, pastoralists, and vulnerable communities, anti-corruption and good governance, as well as peace building and conflict prevention. The dialogue has also emerged as an important international event, attracting representatives of foreign governments, international organizations, and development partners who have expressed support for an Ethiopian-led process of resolving political difference through dialogue. Uganda, Rwanda, and Zambia are strengthening border screening, disease surveillance, and emergency response measures. The growing Ebola outbreak in DRC is raising concern about cross-border spread. Countries bordering the Democratic Republic of Congo have stepped up screening at borders, crossing, trained frontline health workers, and activate emergency plans to reduce the risk of imported cases as the DRC battle a growing Ebola outbreak. The country's health ministry said on Monday that at least 930 people have died due to illness. The country has recorded 2,344 cases of the Bundibugyo strain. The outbreak, which started on May 15, 2026, is the fastest growing Ebola outbreak on record. The World Health Organization recently warned that the number of cases could be 2 to 4 times higher than what is known. In Zambia, authorities have stepped up screening at points of entry despite recording no confirmed Ebola cases. Uganda, which has successfully contained previous Ebola outbreak, has also increased surveillance along its border with the DRC. The East African Community response to Ebola regional cooperation is also increasing. The East African Community has agreed on coordinated response to improve preparedness and reduce the risk of cross-border transmission. EAC Secretary General Stephen Mbundis said partner states are working with the African Center of Disease Control, which is CDC, and Prevention, the World Health Organization, and other partners to expand surveillance, laboratory testing, and emergency response capacity. The heightened preparedness follows a warning from the World Health Organization that the outbreak may be significantly larger than official figures indicate because many infections are going undertaken in conflict-affected areas of eastern DRC. Speaking during a virtual news conference in Geneva, World Health Organization Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said the outbreak had become the third largest Ebola outbreak on record and had expanded faster than any previous outbreak over the past month. Tedros also called on international donors to help close a funding gap of more than $400 million for the joint World Health Organization African CDC Preparedness and Response Plan. The outbreak is centered in eastern DRC, where conflict, insecurity, and population displacement have complicated efforts to identify cases, trace contact, and contain the virus. The DRC has experienced several Ebola outbreaks since the virus was first identified there in 1976, but health experts say its insecurity has made the current outbreak especially difficult to contain. There is currently no vaccine for the Bundibugyo strain. Professor Lion Martin, an infection disease specialist at Florida International University, said the ongoing violence continues to undermine containment efforts. Marty said the situation underscored the importance of preparedness in neighboring countries, where surveillance, rapid diagnosis, and coordinated public health response remain the best defense against regional spread. Apart from Uganda, no other neighboring countries has leaked a confirmed cases to current outbreak, out the official surveillance remain transmission in DRC in brought under the control. They warned that sustained investment in laboratory capacity regional comparative with critical to preventing the virus of the spreading cross borders. Russia launched major ballistic missile attack on Ukraine cities. Russia has carried out a wave of ballistic missiles and drone strikes on Ukraine, killing at least 8 people and injured. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky said the raid on Kyiv was one of the most massive ballistic attacks since Russia launched a full-scale invasion in 2022. Later on Sunday, Ukraine's Navy said 5 people were killed when a Turkish-owned civilian cargo ship with grain was hit by Russian missiles in Black Sea. Meanwhile, Ukraine says it had hit 3 Russian oil tankers in the Black Sea and 3 oil depots in southern Stavropol region. Zelensky said they were targeted that finance Russia aggression. That's all for today. Thank you very much for being with us.